السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، طلبة وطالبات الصف الثاني الاعدادي. النهاردة بإذن الله هنحل يونت 14 الوحدة ال14 schools around the world. كتاب جيم. Children in Egypt to go to school at the age of 6 في سن السادسة preparatory secondary primary nursery طبعا الابتدائية primary. Many children in Egypt to go to school before they are 6 years old قبل ما بيكملوا 6 طبعا الحضانة هنا ابتدائي واعدادي وزي موحد. Students get not lessons outside school بياخدوا private exam nursery test طبعا بياخدوا private lessons. Not schools in Egypt start at the age of 15 بتبدأ في سن 15 nursery primary preparatory secondary طبعا ثانوية secondary. Our school not the white shirt with black trousers تيشيرت أبيض وبنطلون أسود طبعا ده اليونيفورم. Students should not a uniform wear put sent طبعا لازم يرتدوا wear a uniform. We use not language when we speak to our friends. Informal formal written nervous طبعا احنا مع أصدقاء بنستخدم لغة informal يعني غير رسمية. In Japan schools have different not times. Open opens opened opening طبعا opening times. All students have to not exams at school go give make do طبعا do. A lot of children in Egypt to go to nursery school في سن السادسة طبعا at the age of يعني في سن السادسة. A lot of children in Egypt طلبة كتير في مصر go to nursery school أما يروحوا الحضانة في سن السادسة لا سوري طبعا before معلش قبل السادسة مش في سن السادسة. I have an excellent teacher at school so I don't need any public lesson. عندنا مدرس كويس مش محتاج private دروس خصوصية. Teachers don't wear a uniform طبعا لا يرتدون bear يعني يتحمل. All drivers have to follow traffic rules اللي هي القواعد المدرسية. Students can go to nursery school from the age of 4 طبعا الحضانة اللي هي nursery انما دي طبعا اللي هي الايه اللي هي ممرضة. Japan students don't have uniform طبعا الطلبة اليابانيين يبقى Japanese. You not use a pen to write the exam don't use a pencil. Has to doesn't have to don't have to طبعا انت محتاج يبقى have to. We not go to school 5 days a week have to mustn't have must to طبعا احنا have to يجب أن. It's cloudy today so we not take our sunglasses مش لازم ناخدها طبعا don't have to. She not do the washing up every day have to has to don't have to has لازم تغسل has to. You not get up early on holidays نقوم بدري في الأجازات don't have to has to doesn't have to طبعا you don't have to. Does he not get up early have to have has to has طبعا does he هل هو لازم have to. 7 you not be careful تكون حريص when you cross the street طبعا have to. in Brazil في البرازيل you not go to school for more than 5 hours a day 5 ساعات في اليوم don't have to don't have mustn't can't طبعا don't have to. don't have هو سوري مدين هنا to معلش يبقى don't have بس عشان في to هنا يبقى دي طبعا مش هتنفع. sorry but we have to not home now احنا لازم نروح البيت الآن محتاجين مصدر يبقى طبعا go. everyone follow school rules كل شخص have to has to have has طبعا everyone هنا كأنه بيتكلم واحد بس كل واحد تعامل معاملة المفرد has to. she doesn't has طبعا she doesn't have لازم مصدر. منى have to منى طبعا has. we not have to go ما بتتنفاش طبعا بنوت بتتنفى don't have to doesn't have to هنا الوي جمع. they don't have to getting برضو مصدر get. my father has to give طبعا my father مفرد يبقى doesn't have to مش لازم give more money I have enough money to buy my needs مش عايز فلوس أنا معايا فلوس كتير. All children in Egypt have to go to school from the age of 6 to 15. الطلبة في مصر لازم يروحوا من سن السادسة لسن 15. They can go to nursery ممكن يروحوا الحضانة from the age of 4 من سن الرابعة but they don't have to go لكن مش لازم. At primary and preparatory school all students have to wear a uniform. لازم يلبسوا زي موحد. Japanese students الطلبة اليابانية don't have a uniform at primary school ما عندهمش زي في البرايمري but they have to wear a uniform at secondary school. They have to clean the school building at lunch time. بينظفوا وقت الغداء. Most students practice sports. معظمهم بيمارس رياضة or music أو مزيكا after school. Many students also have private lessons. بياخدوا دروس خصوصية. Although على الرغم ان they don't have to go to these lessons ان هم مش لازم يروحوا الدروس دي. Many students go بيروحوا because they want to do well in their exams. هم مش محتاجين للدروس دي بس بيروحوا علشان يجيبوا درجات عالية. When do all children in Egypt start school? معظم الطلبة بتبدأ في سن كام؟ 6 طبعا. Who don't have to wear uniform؟ مين اللي مش لازم يلبس زي موحد في البرايمري سكول؟ طبعا اللي هم الجابانيز ستودنتس الطلبة اليابانيين. What do Japanese students practice after school؟ بيمارسوا ايه بعد المدرسة؟ طبعا sports بيمارسوا رياضة. Children in Egypt go to nursery school بيروحوا للنيرسري الحضانة at the age طبعا 4. Japanese students have to wear a uniform. ازاي عندهم امتى؟ primary preparatory nursery secondary طبعا في المدرسة الثانوية. His sister is 7 years old. عندها 7 سنين. She is at not school nursery primary secondary university طبعا في الابتدائي primary. I come home before 11. It's necessary. إنه ضروري. don't have to has to should have to طبعا have to. Children in Egypt to go to school at the not of 6 في عمر أو في سن at the age of. When does she؟ طبعا طالما في does يبقى have to. Children can go to not school at the age of 4 وطالما 4 يبقى الحضانة nursery. My brother is 16 عنده 16 سنة. He is at not school يبقى في المدرسة الإيه؟ الثانوية secondary. You not use a pen to write the exam. عشان تكتب في الامتحان يبقى you have to. He isn't late هو متأخرش. He not هاري مش لازم يجري. طبعا he مفرد يبقى doesn't have to. Does هاني has to practice sports؟ طبعا دي اللي هي ممارسة هتقلب السي اللي لسه عاملة زي نصيحة. What does your brother has to؟ طبعا have to. does so has to برضو have to. A form is clothes that students have to wear at school. طبعا form يعني استمارة اللي بيلبسوه الطلبة في المدرسة اليونيفورم اللي هو الزي الموحد. English is one of the most popular not in the world. Words past language sentence طبعا الانجليش language لغة. Please can you note the table before we eat؟ يعد المائدة يعني set the table. Do you not هل عندك مانع if ask you some questions؟ mind send طبعا mind. The floor is not clean مش نظيفة. I have to not it أنا لازم أكنسها طبعا sweep. I am doing a note about jobs in the house. souvenir service care servant طبعا دراسة يعني serve. The factory makes cars using computers and dice caves machines pads طبعا machines يعني آلات. Mom adjusted the knot to wash the clothes. washing machine computer video طبعا washing machine. You should help your mother not the housework في العمل المنزلي طبعا with. Not you for answering my questions. شكرا لك طبعا اللي هي طبعا thanks you for. I not a lot of jobs to do at home. أنا عندي شغل كتير. I have. My mother asked me to make the washing up. طبعا أول واحدة تبقى do. Do you mind if I؟ طبعا do you mind. I always sweep the floor اللي هو دي طبعا floor. He is unfriendly everyone loves him طبعا friendly ودود. Set the table please. set set اللي يعد أو يجهز المائدة. Nisma and Mr. Noah أو Miss Noah are talking about jobs. Do you not if ask you some question؟ طبعا do you mind. No go ahead. could you not me هل ممكن تخبرني tell me ممكن تخبريني whether you enjoy your job هل انت مستمتع بالشغل oh yes not teaching very much I like أو I love أنا بحب الشغل جدا not long have you been teaching it I have been teaching for 22 years طبعا يبقى how long كام طول المدة. أحمد بيكلم صلاح do you mind if you give me your pen عندك مانع إن أنت تديني القلم ممكن أقول له no لا طبعا not at all ما عنديش مانع. do you have to wash the dishes هو أنت بتغسل الأطباق ماشي ممكن أقول yes I do. عايزين هنا سؤال إجابته no not at all ما عنديش مانع يبقى مثلا do you mind هل تمانع if I ask you some questions is it okay if I ask you some questions okay no problem أو that's fine مفيش أي مشاكل. سؤال قال له yes sure I'll help you يبقى ممكن تساعدني can you help me. سميرة is asking Rawan some question about a school subject not me I am doing يبقى طبعا معذرة excuse me. I am doing a school project about jobs which people do at home can I ask you some questions yes of course. could you tell me if you make or whether you make the bed every day تلاقي yes I do and do you sweep the floor طب وانت بتكنس الأرضية تلاقي well no I don't sweep the floor often I mean I sweep the floor أحيانا يعني طبعا sometimes when my mother wants me to help لما ماما تكون عايزاني أساعدها. هنا اتسأل سؤال الإجابة yes he has to get up early every day أيوة طبعا هو لازم يقوم بدري يبقى نقول does he have to هل هو لازم get up early وكمل الجملة every day. الجملة اللي بعدها بيقول لي hello is it okay if I ask you some questions طبعا ممكن أقول yes of course مفيش أي مشكلة. علي not learn this vocabulary because he already knows it هو عارف الحاجات دي have to don't have to has to doesn't have to يبقى علي مش لازم يبقى doesn't have to. I did a note about schools in Egypt أنا عملت survey plan service طبعا دراسة survey. After they ate breakfast the children helped their mother to ساعدوا مامتهم في ايه wash in wash on wash up wash off طبعا wash up. Please can you not the dishes dry where heat go طبعا ممكن من فضلك تنشف dry. On holidays I know to get up early has have doesn't have don't have طبعا I don't have. في الأجازات مش لازم أقوم بدري. You should not your bed يرتب السرير طبعا make your bed. Do you not go to bed now طبعا do يبقى have to. A student read quietly in the library لازم يقرأ بصوت هادي في المكتبة يبقى has to. سؤال الكوريكت تصحيح الخطأ عندي 4 جمل. We made a survey about schools in Egypt طبعا عملنا يعني do وهنا الجملة في الماضي يبقى did. You has to طبعا you should أو you have to. Could you tell me whether دي اللي هي الطقس طبعا احنا عايزين whether اللي هي إذا وممكن أحط مكانها كلمة if. Do you mind if I ask you some question do you mind. Egyptian children الطلاب المصريين go to nursery school يروحوا nursery school has to have to don't have to must طبعا don't have to مش لازم يروح الحضانة. At primary school all children wear a uniform طبعا كل لازم يلبس زي موحد have to. Children not wear their uniforms after school يلبسوا الزي بعد المدرسة طبعا ده المفروض ما يعملوش don't have to. Children to take private lessons after school طبعا don't have مش لازم ياخدوا دروس خصوصية. تصحيح الخطأ بيقول لي before you eat قبل ما تاكل you have to set the table set لا يعد. In the evening most people wash up طبعا يقوم بالغسيل wash up. You have to dry the dishes انت لازم تنشف dry. when you get up in the morning you have to do your bed. يرتب السرير يعني make. some people sweep the floor. طبعا sweep the floor بيكنسوا الأرضية. فايزة and Nadia are talking about schools in Egypt. فايزة بتقول at what not do Egyptian children have to go to school. لازم يروحوا المدرسة. يبقى at what age في أي عمر. not age of 6 يبقى at the age of 6. what do students in not and the preparatory school have to wear. يبقى في الابتدائي primary وفي الإعدادي. they have to wear لازم يرتدوا a uniform زي موحد. do all children go to a nursery school. not all of them. do you have to wear a uniform at school. هل انت بتلبس زي موحد؟ ممكن اقول yes I do. سؤال that's fine with me. what would you like to ask. يبقى ممكن اقول مثلا is it okay. هل عندك مانع if I ask you. لو انا سألتك some questions. يعني ايه some questions؟ بعض الأسئلة. comprehension عندنا my son عمر is 14 years old. ابن عمر عنده 14 سنة. he goes to a prep school. بيروح لإعدادي. he wears a uniform. بيرتدي زي موحد. he goes to a school early. بيروح المدرسة بدري. all his teachers like him. بيحبوه because he is polite and clever. لأنه هو طيب وماهر. inside the class داخل الفصل he listens to his teachers carefully. أما يسمع لمدرسينه بحرص وبعناية. he doesn't make noise. مش بيعمل ضوضاء. عمر likes his school so much. بيحب المدرسة. so he always keeps it clean. بيحافظ عليها نظيفة and tidy يعني مرتب أو منظم. the teachers always gave him prizes. بيدوا جوائز and describe him as a good example. بيقولوا إن أنت دايما نموذج جيد للطالب الكويس. really حقا I am proud of my son. أنا فخورة بابني. how old is عمر. كم عمر طبعا قالوا في أول سطر إن هو عنده 14 سنة. why do teachers like عمر. ليه المدرسين بيحبوا عمر؟ طبعا لأن عمر is polite. لأن عمر مؤدب and clever. how do we know that عمر likes his school. كيف عرفنا إن عمر بيحب مدرسته؟ he always keeps it clean and tidy. بيحافظ عليها مرتبة ومنظمة. inside the class داخل الفصل عمر listens to his. بيسمع إلى مدرسينه teachers. عمر the father. أبو عمر is not of his son. angry غضبان منه. afraid خائف. proud فخور. sad حزين. طبعا فخور proud. الستوري هولمز walked up to مستر ويلسون's shop. اتمشى لحد محل مستر ويلسون. هولمز asked دكتور واتسون thought that اعتقد I wanted to see the knees of his trousers. أنا كنت عايز أشوف ركبة البنطلون. هولمز wanted to see the young man who worked for Mr. Wilson. said Holmes Mr. is building how to get to the concert. يروح الحفلة الموسيقية. and hit the ground with his walking stick 3 or 4 times. خبط على الأرض بالعصا 3 أو 4 مرات. said Mr. Wilson. قال مستر ويلسون. هولمز walked up to Mr. Wilson's shop and hit the ground. وخبط على الأرض. هولمز asked Mr. Spalding how to get to the concert. كيف نروح الكونسيرت. دكتور واتسون thought that اعتقد ان هولمز wanted to see the young man. انه عايز يشوف الرجل اللي موجود جوه. I wanted to see the knees of his trousers said هولمز. الجملة دي اللي قالها مين؟ هولمز. طبعا انتوا عارفين ان القصة في 2 بس تفكير نقدي مش هيجوا 4. هنشوف الأسئلة التفكير النقدي ونحلها مع بعض والباقي هنحله كده من غير ما نكتبه. How long did Mr. Wilson work at the Red-Headed League. اشتغل قد ايه هناك؟ طبعا ده سؤال معروف 8 weeks بس ما ينفعش يجي في الامتحان. Why do you think. طبعا ده مهم. هولمز asked ده نذاكره. ليه هولمز يعتقد أو سأل مستر ويلسون about مستر سبولدينج. ليه سألوا عنه؟ طبعا ممكن نقول he doubted him أو suspected him. يعني ايه doubted؟ هو شك فيه أو need more information about him. What was Holmes looking at behind at Mr. Wilson's shop. كان بيبص على ايه؟ طبعا على الشوبس المحلات. وده سؤال ليه إجابة طبعا ما ينفعش يجي. الأخير طبعا ده تفكيري. Do you like the character of هولمز؟ هل حبيت شخصية هولمز؟ هنقول yes. Why؟ ممكن نقول as he is very clever لأنه ماهر جدا. After washing the dishes نقط them نعمل لهم ايه؟ طبعا ننشفهم. I not buy a new uniform. I have to. أنا عندي 2 يبقى أنا مش لازم. I don't have to. You not be careful when you walk in the desert. لما تمشي في الصحراء have to. What jobs do you not do in your house؟ have, has to طبعا have to. I always do a good revision before taking an. براجع قبل الميل. exam طبعا الامتحان. My sister is very helpful. She always know the table. يعد المائدة sits. People put carpets. بيحطوا السجاد on the floors على الأرضية. You not be careful when you walk in the desert. طبعا have to. الجملة دي متكررة 8 و3. We all have to make jobs at home. طبعا يقوم بوظيفة do. Before you eat you have to set the table. يعد المائدة طبعا set. What do he have to do every morning؟ طبعا does. Who has to doing the washing up every day؟ طبعا do. وبكده نكون وصلنا لنهاية يونت 14. انتظرونا بإذن الله في استكمال باقي كتاب جيم للصف الثاني الإعدادي. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.